Hello everybody, it's John Cash Filippe with Gaming and Leisure Voice. I am here with Ramesh Srinivasan. I've worked very hard to get his name right. We are here to talk about his amazing rise in the gaming industry. It has been a whirlwind thing. And Ramesh, we met about 20 years ago, and watching you not only come into the industry, but change the way we do business has been amazing. And I'm going to use these little cards because my brain doesn't remember things all that well. But what's changed for you during your time in the industry?
Yes, John, first of all, great to get a chance to talk to you again. And thank you, and thanks to Genie and Gaming and Leisure and the Voice division for taking the trouble and the time to talk to Agilysys. We really appreciate it. Now, you're embarrassing me a bit. I don't think I did that much for gaming. I think we all have seen together with all our hard work, we have seen this industry grow and change over the last almost 20 years that I've been associated with it. I came into gaming 2005, and in between there were a couple of years I was doing different things. But it's been quite a journey. I think I've learned a lot. And in terms of what change has gone to me, I've gone through during those 19 years. Number one, I've gotten much older, John. And of course, whatever little hair I had in my head is all gone. But I think I've grown. I've grown as a person. I think I've grown as a professional. I've just learned I've figured out reasonably well how to manage enterprise software companies well. And I think I've become a bit calmer now, a bit more patient. Now when I come across crisis situations, I have the feeling that I've seen this before, and this too will get better. And most important, what experience has taught me is to have more faith in the long term. That even if there are ups and downs during the short term, even if there are valleys that you have to go through, if you do the right things for your employees, for customers and all that, I've realized that things will work out well in the long term. And so I've grown to become a better professional and a better person over these 2 decades, I think.
That's amazing, because you actually came in and you actually were a success outside of gaming. So you brought in so many new ideas, and that's why I don't mean to embarrass you, but that was what amazed, I think, a lot of people around the industry, not just me, but several people because of that.
I think I was lucky. Even before I came into gaming, I had reasonable good experiences in B2B enterprise software. I had learned a few lessons there that worked well. So I was able to bring those lessons here, and it worked out reasonably well in gaming as well.
Well, in the last 7 years, you have grown Agilysys to new heights. I mean, the stock is astronomical right now. It's never been higher. The company's doing fantastic. And that's been the model everywhere you've gone. I mean, what's your secret? What do you do that's so different?
Yeah, so I would say, John, I've been fairly lucky, right? I've been lucky to be in the right places at the right time. And I would say I've been lucky to be in companies, in organizations, which have sort of done the fundamentals well, which are not hype-oriented. I've been lucky to be in organizations which clearly understood that you do the fundamentals well first. You first take care of your employees, you take great care of your employees, and then you make sure you invest in products. Right? Enterprise software companies do well when the products do great. If you're not willing to invest enough in R&D and in the products, it just becomes difficult to be in enterprise software. And also learn to be very customer-centric, to be obsessively customer-centric, which I will tell you in B2B enterprise software is not the easiest thing to do. There are 2 kinds of B2B software. One is where you have hundreds of thousands of customers, like you're supporting and selling a database kind of thing where everybody uses it the same way. But in this kind of B2B software, whether it was in my prior experience on the gaming side and now on the non-gaming hospitality side, you have a few thousand customers, a few 10,000 installs, where each customer knows your name, each customer knows your mobile number, and every implementation is different. And even though it is the same product, you still have to run a product company. Every customer has nuanced demands about it. Just because you've installed a product 100 times, the 101st customer will have specific requirements without which they will refuse to implement it. No, all enterprise customers are like that. So for that kind of an industry, you need to be obsessively customer centric, because it's not easy to be when you're running a product company as well. And then your processes need to be efficient, right? You need to run efficient companies. So I've been lucky to work in companies that have understood these priorities well. And when you take care of your employees, you invest enough in products, you're obsessively customer centric, and you have good efficient processes, everything takes care of itself. The company grows, the shareholders get taken care of quite well.
Yes, they do. and like I said, you've done great. Now, yeah, I love this question. The growth at Agilysys is amazing. So how does the growth benefit the Agilysys customer base?
So the main way it benefits the customers is we are able to, by running a company well, by serving our customers well, we were able to turn ourselves around financially as well. And that allows us to invest even more in product innovation, in product R&D, and that in turn helps the customers well. Now, customers pay us recurring fees for the products that they use, the software fees, and they are dependent on us, or they are trusting us to invest it back into the product so that the next version of the product they get, there is a marked improvement in it. So what customers get back is our continued investment in our products. Like, we now run a 1,400-person R&D team that is entirely focused on hospitality. We don't distract ourselves with anything else. So customers get the benefit of somebody innovating at a rapid speed, which is what I would tell you that the hospitality industry has lacked a bit, right? Especially in the last 10, 15 years or so, the innovation has slowed down and we are picking up the pace. So customers, what they get back from us, and the fact we are growing, is we have continued to invest in R&D, and they get the benefit of world-class products that are well integrated, state of the art, they run in the cloud, they run on-premise. We've been able to fulfill all those needs for customers.
Well, and that's, it's funny because that was the thing. When you came in to the industry, nobody wanted to rebuild a gaming system. Everybody was scared of it. And you said, no, we're rebuilding it. And you rebuilt a gaming system from the ground up. And it was amazing how much work that took. And it was all because you put it all into R&D. It was phenomenal. And it's the same as as I see with Agilysys these days. You're building more and more products, and everything's getting almost exponentially better as you go along.
And that's fundamental, right? If you want to be in enterprise software, you have to build it around the products. And in order to build great products, you need great people, right? And you need to make sure you invest in them as well. And the situation was sort of the same in Agilysys as well in 2017, when the new management team took over. We clearly understood that we had to re-engineer our core products, that you really had to re-engineer them ground up, because now the requirement in this industry, not only in gaming, but in the other hospitality industry that we serve, hotels, resorts, cruise ships, and managed food service providers, they needed cloud-native, state-of-the-art cloud-native systems that are designed and meant to work in the cloud, but also need to work on-premise. So the same versions of the product will have to work on-premise, because there are certain customers who want to remain on-premise for good reasons. And it is not our job to force them to the cloud. Now, 80-90% of our new customers choose the cloud, and they choose to install it in the cloud. But there are customers who prefer it on-premise as well, and we don't want them to suffer from lack of innovation. So to do that, to create cloud-native solutions that work both ways, we had to re-engineer our products completely. And that required a lot of investment in people and in processes and products. Along with that, we also created like 20 additional modules, 20 or 25 additional modules, so that we created an ecosystem of products. So that it is not only point of sale, it is not only property management system or hotel management system products, but everything around it. All the web booking engine, a service optimization tool, golf, spa, group booking, sales and catering. We created like 25 additional modules around it. On the POS side, not only staff-facing terminals, we created remote ordering tools on the mobile phone. So we created that whole ecosystem over the last 7.5 years, and that is what drove our success to where we are today.
That is absolutely fantastic. So what are your predictions for Agilysys over the next year or two as you continue to dominate the market?
I'm not going to make predictions, John. I'm going to be careful about making predictions. But I'll tell you what our objective is. So for the next 2 years, within the next 2 years, we want to be recognized. We want to be and be recognized as a truly world-class enterprise software provider with state-of-the-art technology products backed up by world-class service. We are getting there now. I think in the next 2 years, we will be clearly known as a true world-class enterprise software provider who is entirely focused on the hospitality industry. That's our objective over the next couple of years. Yeah.
That's fantastic. Okay. Agilysys has always had a niche in gaming, but has never been limited to gaming. How much of Agilysys' growth has come from other markets, and how does that experience outside the gaming industry benefit this industry?
Absolutely. So we operate in multiple industries, and we have done well in gaming, right? About a little more than half our revenue comes from gaming casinos. But we have also grown in the other industries, other portions of other parts of the hospitality industry that we cater to, like hotels, hotel chains, multi-amenity resorts, which offer multiple amenities to guests, cruise ships. And there is also another very crucial vertical that we cater to called managed food service providers. Some of the biggest corporate cafeterias in the country are run by a select set of food service providers who use our technology for point of sale. Now, what has happened to us is each of these parts, verticals in the hospitality industry teach us different lessons. Like when you make point of sale work in a cruise ship, which is completely automated, which there is a cruise ship that we run that runs off 350 mobile devices, and there is no fixed terminal there. It's only all mobile devices. So when you cater and you completely automate everything in that ship, including loyalty promotions tools, right? When you integrate all of that, you learn lessons that you can bring to the other industries, other parts of the industries. Like managed food service providers have taught us a lot about guest-facing kiosks, where in order to order food, you not only can order it to a person, you can do it yourself on the phone, or you can go to a kiosk and order it. Now, those pieces of technologies were perfected in the managed food service industry, which we were able to bring to gaming. There are a lot of lessons, especially in loyalty promotions, you learn in gaming that we are able to take to hotel chains. So we have learned from each vertical, and we have carried those lessons to the other verticals as well, which I think has benefited not only gaming, but what we have learned from gaming has benefited other verticals as well.
And you make sense, because I went on a cruise not too long ago, and I always wonder why casinos have any cash. The way, I mean, cruise ships, there's no cash, and you guys run all of it.
Absolutely. There are always lessons we can all learn from other industries, and even from within hospitality, there are lessons we can learn from different verticals. And considering we cater to all those verticals at Agilysys, we are able to bring lessons from one to the other.
Well, let's see here. Now, we hear about AI a lot lately. Does AI play a role in Agilysys' future?
Yes, it is beginning to play a role even in our present, and I think it will play an even bigger role in the future. But we are taking careful steps towards it. So the first part is we have created the fundamentals well. All our products now are based on state-of-the-art, cloud-native technology, which makes it easier for us to build on top of that, right? Compared to if we had the old technologies that we had before. Now, I'll give you a few examples of where generative AI and things like that have been useful to us. Number one, it has definitely improved our coding efficiencies, like the use of Microsoft Copilot and all that. In many areas of our R&D now, our coding is a lot more efficient, sometimes as much as 30-35% more efficient than it was before by using these kinds of AI tools. Now, another area where we are experimenting now, and we are going to introduce it in our products, is when you feed in the operating manuals and user guides and all that into a box like ChatGPT, it learns it well, and it can answer questions for you. So within our customer support and within certain customer aspects of customer support, whatever questions they have, you can use tools like ChatGPT to clearly answer those questions once you have fed it the kind of information that it needs. So we are beginning to use that. So now that we are using that, we are now thinking of putting buttons in our product called Ask AL. If you press that button and ask any question, it will be able to answer you about those products. So that is a matter of using generative AI techniques and feeding it the kind of information it needs. Now we are also building, now for example, we have a spa product, and what we demonstrated in our recent user conference is conversational ordering without a person being there. An AI tool has access to the system, and it can book for you a therapist that you like at a certain spa time that you like, and it can all do it, and it can handle 20 calls at the same time without anybody being there. So that kind of conversational ordering, there are a lot of AI tools you can use. So, and also, since we have an ecosystem of products, we are helping customers now do a lot of revenue upsell algorithms, for which you feed it a lot of data because we have multiple systems that can feed it. And then there are good AI algorithms which can help you offer the exact offers to the correct guests, an upgrade at the right time, an upgrade to a hotel suite at the right time. There are things you can offer to guests that once you feed in the right data and use the current right AI tools, you can do that. So we are building revenue upsell tools into our product as well. So like that, step by step, we are beginning to use AI tools, and that will only become greater in the next year or two.
Wow, that's really cool. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I get that upsell from, just my host or whoever, now to get it from just AI. That'd be.
Yeah, correct. So
it knows me better.
Correct. Yeah, it used to be very deterministic before, where you had to study the fact that if you offer a $100 upgrade, somebody is not picking it up, you change it to 90. But now systems can do it in a probabilistic way. Systems can help make that decision without you having to study the data and make that call to reduce the upgrade price. So AI tools are available now that help you do that, and we are building those into our revenue upsell products.
That's great. Okay. When a property is looking at upgrading their back end, and they're faced early on with the choice of going with one vendor provides multiple solutions, ecosystems, or multiple vendors and their individual needs, best of breed, what's Agilysys' position or what is best choice?
Sure. So what we have done, John, and we have made a deliberate decision to, apart from modernizing our core products, like point of sale and property management, hotel management systems, we also created an ecosystem of tools, all based on state-of-the-art technology. So like, for example, a spa system, a golf system, a sales and catering system, a reservation booking system, a web booking engine through which guests can book what they need themselves, a service optimization tool, a loyalty promotions tool, a data intelligence tool. We built all of that. Now, if you are a property making a decision about these tools, point number one is you need these tools. In order to run a good hospitality setup, your property, you need these tools. Now you have a choice. You can go choose multiple vendors to do that, or you could try and choose as many tools as possible from one vendor like Agilysys. Now our objective is, we want to compete for each of those tools on a best of breed basis. We want you to choose our spa product because it is the best product in the industry, both from a technology standpoint and a feature standpoint. Same thing with golf, same thing with service optimization. So that is the first step. Each of these tools, we compete on a best of breed basis. And then, if a customer chooses 5 of those tools from us, we offer certain distinct advantages. Number one, the obvious one is integration. It just is easier when one vendor integrates. Now, even if you assume all these products have perfect APIs and are easy to integrate, the one vendor just makes it easier because the R&D teams sit together and work. That is one obvious advantage. But the other advantages are, for example, with our web booking engine now, if you are a guest who goes to a property, you can not only book the room, you can book your spa appointment, you can book your golf tee time, you can book your dinner reservation, you can book your yoga lesson for the next day, you can book a certain tennis court you like, you can book all that in one shot. And a resort can build restrictions into that. Like if you want to play in that golf course, you have to stay for 3 nights in our hotel. So there are distinct revenue upsell advantages you can build when there is one booking engine that is connected to all your amenities. And also, the integration advantages are there with going with one vendor. The bigger advantage is pace of innovation. So we come up with an idea, let us say, that has to be improved in sales and catering and property management system. We do both of those in the next release. If you're dealing with two different vendors, well-meaning vendors, some have big R&D teams, some have small, you have to depend on their individual roadmaps. While we come across an innovative idea, we change 3 products in the next release at the same time so that customers can get the benefit of that. So there are advantages to one vendor solving multiple problems for you or providing multiple solutions for you.
Well, as an IT guy who, is a CIO, and one of my biggest headaches has always been integration. And I feel the same way you do. If I can get one vendor, everybody should be talking on the same page. The APIs are better. Everything works better and smoother.
Which, integrations can be improved by vendors working well together, which we are committed to. Because even if a customer buys 3 of our modules but buys the 4th and 5th from another vendor, we gladly integrate it. All our systems are API architecture based. That's not an issue. But pace of innovation is faster when we come up with an idea and we can change 3 products at the same time. So John, I just want to give you an idea, a flavor for the kind of modernization that we did to our point of sale systems. When I tell you that we have modernized the systems and we have rewritten them to be a much better technology, state of the art, I just want to give you a flavor for that here.
All right.
So there was a time when point of sale systems, John, was only based on a Windows terminal and it supported only the Windows operating system. But when we took this up for a modernization, this terminal that typically the staff use has now been completely rewritten so that it supports Windows, iOS, Android operating systems, all of one code base. So it's not different systems integrated with the other. It's the same system, the same code base that runs on a Windows terminal like this, can run on an iOS device, and can run even on an Android phone, and it's the same code base. So that it is completely unified now. So whether a staff is working on this terminal at the front of the restaurant, or let's say I'm a waiter and I'm carrying it on an iPad mini, I'm carrying the whole POS with me. These are not different systems. So it's been completely unified so that we support multiple operating systems in all our terminal devices. And we have recently introduced these kind of sleek all-in-one devices so that you can do payment, printing and order management, all of that in this kind of a sleek device. And it is the same POS that is running there as well. So when we took this terminal for modernization, we have the usual advantages that it is cloud native, works on premise and all that with our point of sale system, but it is also unified. There are restaurants running in the world today that are only based on iPad minis. They don't have these kinds of terminals. And the iPad minis like this, you can go buy it, consumer grade devices as well, and the POS works on that. Now the other thing we have done,
it's nice and light too.
Yeah, that's a guest facing kiosk. So it used to be that the staff facing technology and the guest facing technology used to be 2 different technologies, because originally all point of sale systems were staff facing, and then 5-6 years ago when you needed guest facing systems where the ability to order from your phone or from a kiosk, when those kinds of system requirements came up, vendors tended to develop parallel systems. What we have done with our modernization is we have completely unified them. So whether a staff is ordering food, or a guest is directly coming to the kiosk and ordering it themselves, or in a hotel, in-room dining, they just order it on the phone, it's all connected to the same POS backend. There's one source of truth, and all the other systems we have created around this are all based on one source of truth.
I love that term, source of truth. Yeah.
Correct. And that's the advantage I was telling you. When you have different products that are connected to the same backend and are developed together, it just makes it much easier for you to handle your property, to handle your accounts and all the other details. You want to understand guest spend better as to which guest is spending money where. It becomes a lot easier when you have an integrated ecosystem of hospitality solutions. This is just one example of that. Similar examples are there on the property management side, hotel management side as well.
So it's just a matter of actually downloading on your phone for the guest, or for an IT guy, it's just pushing it out to the device.
And the IT departments have a choice of what kind of device they need in order to run the food outlet. You're not constrained only to the old kinds of terminals. If you want to run it off an iPad, you can. If you want to run it only off these kinds of terminals, you can. So they have the options to decide how they want to run their food outlet. And then you also have the options to allow the guests to order themselves as much as you need to. Like in-room dining, you don't need to be dialing the phone ordering for food. The same system, we have a product called On Demand, a module called On Demand that is connected to the same backend system. So you can allow your guests to order food themselves. And in a couple of major food outlets in Las Vegas now, you have a choice in a food outlet with multiple outlets without anybody manning any terminal. The guests can walk in, scan a QR code and order food from their phone or go to a kiosk like that and order it from multiple outlets. And every time food is ready in a certain outlet, they will send a text and you can go pick it up. So that kind of sophistication is now there in food and beverage now.
And I can actually say I've done that. I actually built that at my last property. We actually had the QR code in the bar area, and all of our restaurants were on the on-demand.
Connected.
And they brought the food right out to the table.
And the beauty is, and you can do that in a sports book, kind of room where people can sit down while they are betting on the games, order food for themselves. But the beauty is they're all connected to the same backend. Whether you're ordering it from a normal terminal in a restaurant or ordering it yourself, in terms of the system reporting and all that, they're all connected to the same backend system.
It's fantastic.
So I hope that was useful. Just want to give you a flavor of the kind of modernization that we have done over the last 6-7 years.
No, that's absolutely great. Well, let's see here. Based on your experience in the gaming industry, where do you see the industry going with respects to guests, staff, and technology?
Yeah, not only the gaming industry, John. I would say this applies to the non-gaming part of hospitality as well. It comes down to a couple of phrases, I think. Number one is interconnected. When you have interconnected systems, there's a lot you can do. And also, it's a matter of omni-channel, right? Today's guests are a lot more demanding because they are used to a different world. Everything works well for them on the phone. One system knows what the other system is doing. So they come up with a question like, why don't you know that I prefer this particular spa treatment at this particular time? Like, why is it that I have to tell you that each time? And why is it that the person who is serving me in one part of the resort doesn't know that I have a golf tee time at 2 p.m.? So interconnected systems are becoming more and more the requirement because guests are used to that outside of hospitality. So providing those kinds of systems are crucial now for you to serve your guests better. And not only to serve your guests better, your staff needs better systems now. There was a time, John, when you think of customer service, when you think of guest service, it was all about the culture of the hotel employees. You hear of great examples where there are certain hotels, certain resorts where the culture of the employees are very guest service oriented. Today, you need that culture and you need good technology to support it. You need to make sure that your staff has access to interconnected technology where the systems talk to each other, where the data in one system is available in the other, where at your reception desk, you know that the guest has 5 different activities they have booked. So, and every person who touches the guest in your resort knows that this person has 5 different things to do. That your marketing campaigns are pointed. I spend more money in the resort, in the restaurant, you spend more money in golf, a third person spends more money in spa. Your marketing campaigns have to be pointed. So interconnected is crucial and omni-channel. You have to serve the guest in every part, including on their own phone. So all that is important now for gaming, as it is important for the non-gaming part of hospitality as well. And companies like Agilysys are building the tools and solutions that serve you well for that.
Well, and it's funny that you'd say that because even my web browser knows what I want, which is scary at times. When it tells me, oh yeah, you looked at socks. Oh, here's 14 ads on socks, and why?
But the resort can give you the option of how well do you want us to know you, right? So the technologies provide for all that now.
Well, Ramesh, this has been fantastic. It's been very enlightening. Do you have any final thoughts?
No, thank you. I really appreciate this opportunity. I don't do too many of these days, so it's a lot of fun to see you again.
Yes.
It's been a while, and again, thank you to Gaming and Leisure, and thank you to all the listeners for listening patiently. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Well, everyone, it's been wonderful having you here. We have Ramesh Srinivasan. See, I'm going to get it right one of these days. I'm John Cash Filippe with Gaming and Leisure Voice. See you next time.
Thank you.